you always have to be on top of your game. You can't slip, because the best engineers are the ones who are in tune with the newest technology. They are in tune with the best ways to optimize security in some type of way, whether it be how they implement it or just the knowledge they have of the thing that they're securing.
Welcome to the Unknown Options, the place where we explore the unknown options. My name is Will, and today I have with me my friend Drake. Drake, it's great to have you here. Give us a rundown on who you are and what you do.
So my name is Drake Scott. I just turned 27. But yeah, I'm married. First, I'm a family man. I'm married. I have my fourth child coming in a few months. So that comes first. But I'm a cybersecurity engineer. And so we'll go into a little bit about what that is and what that looks like. But that's pretty much about me as far as like hobbies. I like to golf. With 4 kids, I really don't get too much free time. But yeah, that's just a brief synopsis about me.
I love it. It's going to be a great interview. Your journey as a cybersecurity engineer is important, so we want to highlight the good, the bad, and the ugly for someone who might not know what is a cybersecurity engineer.
Yep. So a security engineer is a lot of facets. It's a super big industry, and there's a lot of different niches and a lot of different areas. Me in particular, I work in application security. So for me and my team, we make sure that all the applications in our company follow our security guidelines and principles. So for instance, we'll say everyone, so think of it like an Instagram app. Everyone who's logging into Instagram, we want to see their name, maybe the email, what time they logged in. Was it successful? Was it a failure based on the passwords they put in? Did they fail their password a certain amount of time, stuff like that? So we're monitoring everyone's activity, logging to these applications of our company, and just making sure they're not doing anything malicious. So that's just a snippet of what I do. And like I said, I'm an application security engineer. But like I said, there's so many different areas. There's cloud, there's AI, there's anything in tech you could think of, any company you can think of that uses technology at all, which is any company, they have security engineers. So
I love it. And this conversation is even more relevant since MGM Resorts got hacked yesterday.
That just happened. Yeah, man. And it's crazy. Like when I first got into cyber, like I didn't realize, like, from hospitals to FedEx to any company you can think of, they have a security team and they need it because technology is only getting more used and more advanced, especially with AI now. So, but yes, security is a big need, bro.
Definitely, I love it, and that puts us right into the next question. How did you get started in cybersecurity?
Yeah. So for me, when coming out of high school, of course, I wanted to do the traditional route and go to college. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. In high school, I took a couple of tech courses. They had a few available, and they were showing them my class, and they were like, "Hey, I'm going to school for computer science. You ever heard of that?" And I'm like, "What's that?" And coming to high school, I didn't even have the GPA to go into computer science at my school. So I went there, got in, and when I was able to switch to computer science. And in college, computer science was basically learning everything there is about computers, and specifically programming. I didn't really like computer programming too much, so I started looking to different areas of tech. And like my junior year, I got into a cybersecurity club and just fell in love with it from there.
Nice.
So then I started. So we had like labs and stuff we did in that club, and just continue from there, and was able to land a job out of school in security, and then the rest is history.
I love it.
Yeah,
we're gonna go back to that, to your cybersecurity club in the college days, but why? I mean, you touched a little bit on it earlier, but why is cybersecurity, or why is your job, application security, important, and what does it contribute to the general public?
Yeah, so cybersecurity in general, man, it's all about protecting your data and and protecting companies and their data and everything. Now, data is a new currency, right? So whoever owns the data owns everything nowadays. So like I said, for me, what I'm talking about is application specific. So is it, like I said, I gave the Instagram example earlier. So Instagram's an application. So within Instagram, how can we find different ways to secure the app where it can't be hacked, accounts can't be hacked, things like that. But there's different aspects, like for instance, the cloud. So Instagram will be putting some of their data in the cloud to store, and then someone else is a cloud security engineer and they would be securing that. So it just depends on what area of technology you're talking about, whether it be the application, whether it be the network, the cloud, and then that's how those different areas are broken up. But without security, you, you a password would be useless. And anyone would be able to get any type of data they want. All of your bank account information and your bank account will look empty every day. And all of our social security numbers, our identities would be stolen, just everything. And like I said, security is needed from the U.S. government. I forgot the number. I think they spent like something $1 trillion in budget for cyber in the last year, all the way down to your local business utilizing it in some way from a third party or something to secure their network and their data, clients' data also. So without us, it would be a very scary world for sure.
I love it, man. So what you're I work in tech, but I don't work in the technical position.
Yeah.
So I understand some of what you're saying, but some people might not understand anything you're saying.
Yeah.
Is college required to be a cybersecurity engineer?
College is not required. Skills is required. Actually, if I was to go back, I might go to like a community college or something like that. And there's so many ways to get into the tech industry without doing any degree. They have something called boot camps nowadays, where it's like a 6-month or a 12-month program. You pay a certain amount of money, probably about the same money that would cost you to do like a semester in college. And they'll fast track your learning where you'll learn that specific skill, and that specific skill only, whether it be software engineer, security engineer, project manager, just whatever you choose. And in those boot camps, you can learn everything that you need to do. And also the boot camp will have resources where they can get you placed with companies. But that being said, there's still traditional companies that will still want to look for that 4-year degree. But a lot of the new age companies and the companies who are paying very well, they look past it as long as you have the skills. That's what's the most important.
Do you think will demand for cybersecurity engineers increase or decrease in the future? And do you think that 4-year degrees won't be required in the future, you think?
Yeah, 100%. Number one, I mean, I don't even know the statistic on how many jobs are open currently in cybersecurity, especially with technical roles, but it's millions.
Yeah.
So there, if
3.5.
Yeah, if you're a technical person and want to do security, there's roles for you every day. People will be reaching out to you on LinkedIn every day. Literally, you get 5 messages a day. And what was your other question?
Do you think college degrees will be required, like the 4 years in the future?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I said, even now, like some of the most prominent companies, even the major companies, the Googles, the Apples, and Microsoft, if you go and look at the job descriptions for like software engineer or security engineer, I was just looking at some not too long ago. They say a 4-year degree with a certain amount of experience. So a 4-year degree with 2 years experience, or just 6 years or whatever amount of years of just qualified experience, to where we don't care about the degree. You have the experience, come talk to us. Now, with that being said, without having a degree, it will be harder for you to get that first initial role.
So I was going to ask that.
But once you get that initial role and someone takes that chance on you and you start getting that experience, you'll be good from there. But yeah, it will get to the point where, especially in roles like cybersecurity, you will not need a degree. And this, like I said, there's so many avenues now to just gain the skills. I mean, there's kids in elementary school coding now. So
Yeah,
when they get exposed to coding, then you get exposed to the other side, which is, cybersecurity, and they would love that type of thing and all the cool things that come with that. So, and kids are going to be coming out of high school with enough experience to go and get a new job, just off the labs and extracurricular work they've been doing outside of school.
definitely. Do you, well, look, first of all, let's tell us, cause did you start out at your company as an application security engineer, or did you kind of evolve into that position?
Yeah, so it's not a thing anymore, but when I first joined, they had like a cybersecurity rotational program, like a new college grad program, where it was designed for me to come in, and for 3 years I worked three different roles, and like I changed to different cities and different locations and worked for different roles. The first year I got there, I was a SOC analyst. Explanation that is, so they'll have something like monitoring a network, and certain alarms will pop up. Like I said, someone failing putting in their password in 30 times within 10 minutes. It's like, okay, that's an alert. You need to go investigate this to see what happens. So that just analyzing different security events happening.
Okay.
Um, and once I got there for that first year, that program got dissolved. But still, they
Oh
had
man.
another like new hire program that I was then brought into, and they let me stick with cyber. And so I bounced around. I went from a SOC analyst to like a technical program manager, where I was helping run the technical projects and work with engineers. And that was pretty cool because you kind of get both sides. You get the technical side where you work with engineers, and also the business where you learn the business needs and making sure those are met. So yeah, but between like program management and being the SOC analyst, that's what led me to this role that I'm currently in.
Okay, I love it. And could you tell us your day to day and your
Yeah,
current application? Like, wake up in the morning.
yeah,
Obviously, you got a lot of kids.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Wake up in the morning and taste a few kids. Uh, but yeah. So the way we work is, like I said, we want to get to the point where every application sitting in our company, we want them to be fully compliant with our security policies and requirements, um, to the point where anything that happened, will be able to have logging in place, where we can capture bad people trying to get in. Um, we have like a statistic where we're trying to reach, let's say, like 35, 40 applications onboarded to our platform every month. And once they get onboarded, then that's when we can like monitor and alarm on their applications for any potential events. So on a daily basis, we're evaluating how many applications we've onboarded this month, and just keeping up with that statistic. But for me as an engineer on the team, I'm doing the configurations on what's called a SIM, which is like a security incident event manager. Like I said, we'll be capturing logs. Logs will be, like I said, you do a login, it will then log, hey, Drake Scott logged in at 7:12 p.m. on this date. And so those logs will be into a big data pool. And then we'll use a tool like Splunk, where it will evaluate those logs and look for potential malicious events happening. And so I'm doing configurations for that whole onboarding process, where I'm getting applications on there, and also helping create those alarms and detections to look for those malicious events or those bad events of people trying to get into the network for the application.
I love it. I want to ask this question. I've never asked this before. Is your job stressful? And if it is, how stressful is it?
Yeah. So stress, I'll say in engineering roles, in technical roles, it just depends.
Mm.
Like there's some days where you're lax and you're kind of able to move at your own pace. Because with security engineers in particular, it's not really a tell you what to do job. Sometimes it is like you'll get assigned a specific task, but it's really like, okay, I hired you to tell me what to do with my security and how to improve it and how to make it more efficient.
Mm.
Um, so they're looking for you to be a go-getter, come in, be able to take your own direction, look around the environment, look around the team, and see what needs to be improved on, what new things need to be created. And so there'll be times where you'll have multiple projects running coincide each other, and that's a busy time.
Yeah.
But then there's be times where you're just kind of in the brainstorming phase, like, okay, what should I do next, and what next improvement can I work on? And it really just depends. You'll have full weeks where it's kind of lax, and then you'll have some weeks where you can't look up from the computer. So yeah,
Goodness.
it really just depends,
Okay.
and it also depends on what happens in your company. Like, if you work in a pretty, I mean, no matter what size company you work in, to be honest, people are trying to get into your network and your application on a daily basis. So
Yeah.
if you wake up in the morning, so there's some security positions where you'll be woken up in the middle of the night and they're like, hey, we think someone got in. And you have to open your laptop up and go and investigate. So I don't have that type of role currently, which
Yeah.
is great, but yeah, it can definitely happen.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Man. Whew. Yeah, I've heard of like the rotations, like kind of like
Yeah.
working like night shift and
Exactly.
stuff like
And that's
that.
the SOC analyst role. So when I was a SOC analyst, because I was straight out of college and I was kind of entry level role, they didn't let me work the shifts, which is good. I only work day shifts. 24/7, 365. Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, they all had shifts for those days and nights.
Goodness.
Because you gotta think, I mean, something actually like bad actors, we call it threat actors, which is just people trying to hack. They actually pick the weekends. They pick holidays. They're like, all right, even if they do have someone on the network, it's someone light. It might be one person, when it's usually 3 or 4, just because it's a holiday, and that's where they want to move the most. So, yeah, with security, man, it's 24/7, 365.
Interesting. So is there has since you work in the industry, has there been a lot of burnout in the industry, you think? Or is it
Yeah, well, yeah, the good thing, like I was saying earlier, the thing about this industry, what makes it interesting is if you're a good security engineer, you have all the leverage. So that comes with pay. That comes with all the incentives that you can think of. I mean, working remotely and all that. It's to the point where if someone's burning you out and you feel like you're not getting like any good knowledge or any new learning experiences from your job, you can leave at the drop of a dime. Like I said, I'm not exaggerating, where if you have a certain LinkedIn set up with security engineer experience, you're getting hit up 5 times a day, and not with very, very competitive offers. They're trying to each company, big companies, small companies, startups, they're trying to steal you from your company every day. So if you're a really good security engineer and your team values you, even if you do receive some of that burnout, you have the leverage, and you could speak up and say, hey, this is too much, or just decide to leave and go take another role. So it's really different. And like, there's some people that even say like really good experienced security engineers are cocky, because they'll get in interviews and they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna interview you on what you're gonna give me for me to come to your company. I need this salary, I need this, I only want to work these days of the week. So yeah, man, now burnout can happen. Just mental, I say mental burnout can happen,
Yeah.
because we're talking about like a lot of technical stuff and things that can go wrong. So when you're troubleshooting or creating a new solution, or doing an analysis or investigation on a possible incident that happened, yeah, mentally burnout, it can definitely happen. You just like, man, I just can't get this. But yeah, so yeah, it kind of comes from all perspectives.
Oh my gosh, I like it though. You have a
Yeah,
really good breakdown on it. I really like it.
yeah, man.
What I mean, you kind of highlighted it already, but I guess we can go like for your specific role. What are like the possibilities of growth, like from application security engineer?
Yeah.
Where can you go from that?
Yeah. So the way I say my Pacific company is set up, I'm currently a security engineer 2. So they have like a 1 and 2, level 1, level 2. I can become a senior security engineer. I can become a principal security engineer. And then I can even go up to something called like an architect, where you're like a level 3, or you're alongside, you're the same level as directors within your company, and nothing moves in a certain niche without your say. Whether it be cybersecurity or whatever, you are a big dog. If something happens, you're the first person they come into. So that's like the technical route. I can go be a senior security engineer, get a promotion, and go the management route. So from my next level, which is senior security engineer, I can go be associate director, or a manager of a team to like 5 to 10, and grow from that standpoint. Well, you can become a director, AVP, VP, and up from there.
Sheesh. So the paths are limitless.
Yeah. And that's actually something I was just talking to my supervisor about. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to go in management or stay technical. And he's like, I mean, with the trajectory you're doing, you can kind of go either way.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's it would, because you got to think, even if you go the management route, you're then managing a team full of technical people. So you still got to know your technical stuff, and you still got to be on your P's and Q's regardless, you know.
It's tough too. Then you got to manage personalities too.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out if I want to go that route.
Yeah.
A lot of engineers say, I never want to touch to being a manager, just because it's stressful, man. Like even my supervisor now, it's just like, yeah, sometimes I don't know if it's worth it, but it just depends. I mean, if you're a people person, you feel like you can add value to people, then that might be for you. So
you got to be very smart, and then very, like you said, personable to manage like very smart people.
be able and be able to work with different personalities, like you said, and meet people's needs, and also I feel like one of the biggest jobs supervisors should have is career growth, man. So like really be invested in your people, and yeah, that's big. So I was like, if I can't offer that, then I'll stick to technical. I'll stick to the keyboard, right?
Yeah, you can. You can do either. It's all about what you want. It's all about what I'm more. The older I get, so I'm always like, it's all about what you want for your life.
Exactly.
Like, honestly,
and that's what it really is. Like I said, I'm pretty young with a good amount of kids, so I'm going to make sure that I'm in a job and in a career where it won't be too bad for me to leave early and go to a game, or be able to take the day off or something like that. So you definitely got to adjust your career and what you do to your lifestyle, for sure.
Definitely. Okay. Well, that was a great first half. We're gonna hop into the not so speed round. Give you a couple questions. Okay. I answer them as fast or as slow as you want. First question is, what's 4 words that describe a cybersecurity engineer?
4 words: intuitive, problem solver, let's say intelligent, and driven.
Why intuitive? What's that?
Intuitive, man, because you have to get really creative. Like, you have to there will be times where like they have something called a 0-day attack. A 0-day attack is because, like, for cyber engineers, there's multiple different resources you can use where you can research certain attacks. Like, okay, is my systems vulnerable to any new attacks out there? You can go, there's news that comes out with attacks every day. You can go, okay, let me run this across all of my systems and see if we're vulnerable. But the 0-day attacks are attacks that happen that no one's seen before. So it's kind of like, it's up to you to figure out how they got in, what they used to get in, the tools, the resources, what they did while they were in the system or while they were in the network. And even apart from that, when you're trying to create detections to catch these people, so that, like, for instance, as a security engineer, you can create a detection where it's like, okay, someone is doing something on the network that's not normal. and because they're doing this, I'm pretty sure it's someone that is not supposed to be in the network anyway. So you can set up a detection to catch them and like maybe take away their rights or take away their permissions to be able to access that system or something like that. So you really have to be intuitive and be able to think outside the box.
Okay, I like that. That's a perfect answer.
Yeah.
What's another profession that you think being a cybersecurity engineer is most like?
I would say I was gonna go generic and be like software engineer, with almost go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think something out of the box. Let's see. I know something that's good on top of my head. Another profession. I would say, I don't know. A doctor keeps coming to my head. I don't
Okay.
understand why, but basically you have to be like very meticulous. There's just like there's so many systems and everything to learn when you're going through med school. Man, technology is just, it's so broad.
Yeah.
You have to think that. I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, I can never be a medical doctor. Just all the terms, and we like to watch medical shows. I'm like, I can never remember all those terms.
Yeah.
But something like security, someone said something that really stuck with me. They're like, okay, how can you secure something you don't know? Right? So you have to know something inside and out to be able to secure it, right?
Yeah.
So you got to think all the things that need to be secure: your desktop, your phone, your earphones, your network, your cloud instance, your medical device, your pacemaker in your chest.
Yeah.
Like everything that is connected to the internet in any way needs to be secure, and even ones that are not connected to the internet, and on a local network, even those have to be secure. So man, there's so many different systems and technical jargon and technical terms and things that you need to know. It reminds me of being a doctor. It's like your whole career you're going through med school, because the thing that's different is, for a doctor, it is what it is. Like, there's medical advancements maybe in medicine and different solutions on how to fix something, but the body's not changing.
Yeah.
Once you learn those terms, you're good.
Yeah.
What I know now won't even apply in 5 years.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like man, you can't, like, I'm studying for 3 certifications right now. What you know now, if you don't keep up with the technology and how quick it's evolving, you'll get laid off. I mean, this people every day in tech that's getting laid off just because they're stubborn and don't want to do continuous learning, and you'll get left behind in this industry. You really got to have like a knack for learning and looking for what's new out there and what's next.
You're right, 100%.
Yeah, man.
I work in sales, and imagine me and not even technical trying to learn this stuff.
Man,
I'd be like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. And yeah, and it's funny because you got to talk the talk, and that's another big thing. So we were talking about this, and when we were talking about people getting in with no degree, possibly.
Yeah.
Some people, okay, so there's people on social media and things like that where they'll say, hey, you come and you get Security Plus, which is like an entry-level cybersecurity certification. You get that, and you can get interviews and get a job immediately. So people will go and chase all these certifications that, don't get me wrong, that along with experience will get you interviews. But if you get to an interview, especially a technical role, and you only have certifications and the knowledge is not there, they will weed you out very quickly. Actually, with technical roles, a lot of times they'll send you a technical assessment, like something either you work on yourself, or someone getting on a call and going through technical stuff. They'll weed you out before you even get in their interview process. There's so many people lying on their resume and all that. So yeah, man, if you can't talk the talk and walk the walk, then you'll be weeded out very quickly.
True. Right. Okay. You kind of already answered, so I want to hear it again. What does a world look like without cybersecurity engineers?
Yeah, man, the world would look endless. Like, you know how there's so many like scammers and like I said, the big. I mean, you just got to think about the big incidents. Like, um, there would be no security for your identity. You got to think you're somewhere in a federal database is your social security number. Is everything about your life, your address, just everything. So if people are able to get a hold of that, man, they can go open lines of credit in your name. They can go do anything and use your identity. You wouldn't keep any money in your bank account. Like, literally, on every second. Like, I mean, because you gotta think, people who are hackers, they have all these tools and things where they can do certain activities at alarming rates. And that's even before something like quantum computing comes out, where it's just gonna completely change the game. But yeah, man, like, everyone's bank accounts will be empty. Everyone's everyone's power and water, everything will be shut off. Like, one of the biggest fears for America is, I mean, there's a lot of countries, China, Russia, that have the ability, every country, including America, invest in cyber weapons. So they're using cybersecurity people to send hacks and stuff like that. Someone can bring down, like, wherever you live, with just all from a computer. They can bring down your whole electrical grid, man, for multiple days. And now in war, that's what's used. If you saw with Ukraine and Russia, the first few things you heard before even any attacks, you were hearing about hacks happening. And you hear Ukraine getting hacked, Russia getting hacked. Cause I don't have to have any loss of life. I don't have to spend no money other than the engineers I hired. And that's going to change the game of everything, including war in the future. So
that's insane. No, we're gonna need you. We're gonna need you in a part 2 for like just that aspect alone.
Man, that's a rabbit hole right there, man. I mean, like I said earlier in the episode, man, the U.S. government this year, I think, spent something trillion, if I'm not mistaken, in budget for the cyber division, and whether that be protecting our country, and also the flip side, which they don't talk about, which is the people in the back room making the attacks.
They never talk about that. They can't talk about
that. We're the ones doing the attacks, or at least creating them. So yeah, man, it gets crazy. It really does.
What's the good, the bad, and ugly associated with cybersecurity engineers?
Okay, I would say good is I like it so much because it's something where you wake up every day and it could be something new.
Okay.
It's a job that if you're actually interested in, and it really, like, piques your interest, you won't mind Monday. You won't mind, wake up on Monday and doing the job, because it's something cool. It's something that could pop up. But like I said, something new every day, something you learning something new every day. The bad can be, what would be bad? I would say some of the aspects we talked about, like, sometimes you're on call. Sometimes you're doing that 24/7 shift where you're working night shifts as a SOC analyst. You're working like 11 to 8 a.m. the next day, or you're working on Christmas. Or I had a friend that said that I forgot what holiday it was. I think it was like Christmas Eve. He got called and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but we need to check out this event that just happened." And like I said, me, like, I don't do that. But you can. There's a good part of the industry that is involved in some way in that. The ugly. What would be the ugly? I guess the ugly is the constant pressure, because as a security engineer, like I said, you have to be on the top of your game. So whether it be your colleagues, or whether it be like other people you follow on social media or that you engage with, you always have to be on top of your game. you can't slip. Because the best engineers are the ones who are in tune with the newest technology. They are in tune with the best ways to optimize security in some type of way, whether it be how they implement it or just the knowledge they have of the thing that they're securing. So yeah, man, it's just you have to. I mean, I like to continuous learn, but it's a difference between continuous and learning because you want to, and sometimes because you have to. Like it might be a specific topic where you're not too keen of, but you have to do it because if you don't learn this, yeah, you might be getting a layoff coming. So I mean, it's not that extreme sometimes, but there's some people who don't learn for 20 years. I mean, you just know it's coming in tech. But I mean, of course, I'm talking about being the top of your game and like being like, highly sought out. But one thing I left out of good also is salary.
That's my next question though.
Okay.
Are you underpaid or overpaid? That ties right in.
Currently, I feel like I'm underpaid. Just the current industry that I'm working in as a security engineer, I do feel like I'm underpaid. Now underpaid is perspective. Just a brief range. I would say I'm in underpaid. It's subjective, but there's security engineers out there that have total compensation of $500,000 a year. Now total compensation, I should break that down because that's kind of specific sometimes to the tech industry, where you'll have a base salary, so you make like $225 a year. Then you'll have a bonus, which you'll get like a certain percentage of bonus each year, like say 10, 11, 12%, whatever that is. And then you get equity. So they'll give you like $200,000 in RSUs, and RSUs are restricted stock units. And basically it's equity in the company. You can keep it as stock and they'll add it to your portfolio, or you can just sell it and this is another bonus. But yeah, man, the tech industry is, especially like we were talking about earlier, there's so many open jobs and security. So if you're good, you can leverage some big payouts. And I mean, this not only just the salary, just the benefits that come with it. Some come with free healthcare and paternity leave. Like me as a father, I have paternity leave, which is great for multiple months. And but yeah, man, pay and benefits is definitely a good also.
Definitely. I know I was sending a CIO like a package one day and he sent me his address. Let's just say $1 million mansion on Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
I'm telling you, yeah. And yeah, there's so many open jobs because there's so many different industries that you can be in. Like there's different sectors in tech. There's biotech, there's GovTech, which is like government tech. There's fintech, financial talent. So there's certain sectors you can get where you get paid more, even oil and gas and stuff like that. So it just depends on what industry and is how well you're paid sometimes.
Definitely.
Of course, the best industry to be in is technology. So working for actual tech company, the Microsofts, the Googles, the
that R&D.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, exactly. So so yeah, that's another positive, man, and that's a lot what attracts a lot of people to the tech industry. Apart from cybersecurity, we're also cybersecurity.
Yeah. Okay. We only got 2 more questions if you're almost done.
Okay.
What's one person, book, or event that changed the trajectory of your life?
One person, book, or event. I would actually say event. And it's actually something I've already I guess person. I didn't really go into how it sparked my interest in computer science. Like I said, there's someone who was in my tech class in high school. And he was like, I'm going to a certain school for computer science. And I was like, okay, cool. What's computer science? And I was like, yeah, I think I might go into that. And he was kind of like, you going to computer science? You sure? and,
I'm
and
weak.
and me being the type of person I'm like, wait, what? Let me look into this. What do you mean? I can't. I love tech. I can figure it out. And
Yeah.
that kind of gave me the motivation. Like, man, I can go and figure this out, and this would be something I can do. And that is what motivated me to get into tech and do computer science in school. And so I'm thankful for him. If I see him today, I'll say thank you.
I want to say, I want to say, is he working in tech?
I haven't looked him up. I'm pretty sure he was extremely smart. So
What was his name?
I don't remember. But yeah,
It wasn't Dimitri. Was it Dimitri?
No.
Okay. Because he has software engineer at I'll blank this out, but Disney right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You talking about Dimitri Law?
Law, yeah.
Yeah. He was my roommate my first year in college.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get him on here, but he ignored my Facebook message. He said he want to come on, but then he ignored my message. I don't know why.
Yeah, but yeah, man. But no, it was not him. Like I said, I don't remember his name, but he was extremely smart. Like, he could break down the whole. I know he's doing something great right now in the tech industry.
Nice,
for sure.
Wow, look at motivation. I started in high school and took you.
Yeah, man.
It's
and man, in college a couple times I was about to call it quits, but
hey,
I'm glad I didn't. But
hey, we all been there. We all been there. College was definitely tough for me. Definitely.
Yeah, it was struggle, man. So yeah.
Last question. Let's say Amari turns 18 and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I want to get into cybersecurity." But let's say he's fast forward and happen next year, but not in, because the future would be totally different.
Yeah.
But say he wants to get into cybersecurity. What are the steps you give him to get into cybersecurity?
Yeah, I thought about this. So it's almost a question of, like, if I was doing today, what would I do?
Yeah.
Number one, I feel like a 4-year college. It depends on who you are. A 4-year to college could be good because it helped me. I need the 4 years also just to dive deep into everything tech and technical, but also evolve as a person. Because you're pretty immature coming out of college. So for some people that's needed. But for me, I would probably do the community college route in the beginning. Knock out a lot of those classes because those classes are cheaper and sometimes provide you the same, if not more value. And once you finish your first year, first course, whatever, do internships immediately. So go and get that experience. And sometimes that in college is needed, whether it be community college or regular college, is needed to get that stamp to go do an internship. That's still not needed though, like 100%. But you'd have to do a lot of extracurricular learning if you wanted to land an internship without working towards a degree. But yeah, get into internship and just go get my hands-on experience as quick as possible. But there are also a lot of great programs out here. I think one of the biggest ones that's going around is called Blue Team Level 1 certification and training. And the certification to even get that, it's like a practical certification. So like I was talking about certifications earlier, this like Security Plus is where it's like only information. You learn a bunch of terms, you memorize them, you can pass it. Blue Team Level 1, they give you environment. You have to look over the environment for 24 hours. And you have to triage or like solve any people trying to hack and get into the system. And you pass the certification by preventing people getting to the system and securing the system over a 24-hour period. So you have to be in front of your computer for 24 hours. So certifications like that, degree, no degree, if you can get past that, you can do the job to a certain extent. So yeah, I would find the cheapest way and most efficient way to get the knowledge, whether it be college, whether it be like a boot camp like I was talking about earlier, or just like one of those practical certifications like Blue Team Level 1. But yeah, it's so many avenues. But if it was my son, I'd probably still at least do community college, just because it's cheap. You'll be able to get through the classes and get internships immediately.
And honestly, by the time your son that age, college should be free.
Yeah,
Honestly.
exactly. Be free or just non-existent,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Now, with all my kids, I'm trying to make it to where they have their. I mean, if they go into a field that has to deal with college, cool, go to it. But just definitely gonna drill in their heads that's not needed, especially in today's
Definitely.
world.
Definitely. Man, this has been an amazing interview, man. Teach us the world of cyber,
Yeah, man.
application security, cybersecurity. Give us some final words, and man, we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is that I want to drill home is number one. A lot of people think that engineers are the smartest people in the world. And if you're not the smartest, if you're not Albert Einstein, you can't do it, and that's not the case. Yeah, there's a lot of people that just figure it out and just really study hard and get it done, and it's a great career to get into. But also there's a lot of myths out there about how to get in the industry. Also, people trying to sell your courses, sell your products,
Yeah.
and just try to take your money, and you're kind of left on your own. So make sure you do your thorough research. Make sure you always put skills first, especially in a technical role. Skills matter and experience matter more than anything. Because certifications, like I said, you can't walk the walk and talk the talk, you'll get weeded out really quickly. So yeah, just make sure that you know what you're doing, and there's plenty of resources to learn. Yeah, so just go out there and look for it. But yeah, that's really all I have. You can feel free to reach out to me, and I can answer any questions you have about breaking into cybersecurity. And yeah, that's really all I got.
Man, we appreciate you. I'll link Drake's LinkedIn and his Instagram if you want me to do an Instagram
Okay.
on the thumbnail. Man, we appreciate you. Man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. If y'all listen this long, I don't know options on the place, number one place for career apprehension and accessibility. Please comment, please like, and please subscribe, and please share this video. Thank y'all. Y'all have a nice day.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.